UFC Vegas 92. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure you share the video as well. And also note, live stream for the full card fight companion going down tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss it. Looking forward to it. And let's jump into the fights. Starting the card off, ladies going after it with Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I have been picking Ducote to win by a decision throughout the entire week. The weigh-ins really weren't going to give me any sense of a pick flip or anything like that here, so spoilers out. We're not pick flipping. I think Ducote is the technically superior striker. She has better takedown defense, and I really feel like the hands are going to be on point. I see her stinging up Demopoulos. 3 rounds, I can see a 30-27 Ducote, maybe a 29-28. I think for Demopoulos, closing the gap and looking to wrestle might be a decent idea, but Ducote's takedown defense is normally pretty solid, so I'm going to go with Ducote to win a decision. Fairly confident in this one here. As confident as you can be with these damn disgusting betting lines here between these two. We'll talk the odds in a second, but we will bring the ladies up. We'll find them here, and then we'll check them out on the scales. MMA Junkie stopped showing the weigh-in look, so, you know, we had to go other places. Let's zoom in. We got Vanessa Demopoulos. Looks in good shape. You'll see in the face-off them going nose to nose. There's really no substantial notes on the scale, just a quick preview to see how they're looking like, but there's not any wow factor or oh shit moment, nothing that has me thinking something's going to change here. Now, I'm actually at a loss for finding our girl who we got winning the fight. Where's our girl Ducote at? Did I just scroll past her disrespectfully, not realizing she was there? I guess they don't have the pic of her, but to be honest, I saw her on the scale. She looked good. If I find it later and I mixed it up, it is what it is. We got the face-off, which I'll bring up right here. The ladies facing nose to nose. Nothing tells you anything's going to change. Nothing tells me anything's going to change. I think we got a clean-cut win for Emily Ducote on the way by decision here, and that's the side I'm going to stick with. Let's quickly look at the odds before we get to the next fight. They're wide, -400 Ducote, +330 Demopoulos. Give me Ducote. I know -400 sucks, so I'm not telling you money line it. I'm not telling you parlay it. I'm not telling you bet it. If you're feeling it, you're confident, you want to throw down, go for it. It is a women's fight. It is the first fight of the night. Demopoulos has won as an underdog a lot in the past. I think we're going over at -470, but that tag sucks too. And then Ducote by decision is -175. Ducote should win. She should get it on the cards. I see her as the better fighter. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Alatengheili versus Clayton Rodrigues. You know, I think that Alatengheili is a very good underdog here. I'm picking him to pull it off. I think he can outwork Clayton Rodrigues. I see Rodrigues with good striking for sure and explosive early, but fading a little bit later in the fight. And I think Alatengheili is going to be able to bring some pressure to him, tie up with him, maybe even take him down. Because I question Clayton Rodrigues' wrestling. Jiu-jitsu isn't bad, and his slickness is solid. It's just his overall wrestling game seems subpar, was, you know, easily dominated by Basharat and was taken down a bit by Vergara in their previous fight in his UFC debut. I think Alatengheili beats him. Clayton is also known to fade in the later rounds, specifically the third, but he is now up in weight at 135 pounds, and we haven't seen him later. I still have a feeling it's going to be a factor, and I'm going to go Alatengheili to win as an underdog. I think on the scorecards, we'll check them out on the scales and see how everything looks. Let's get them up. And let's see. We got Alatengheili, who came in tremendously shredded, looks in great shape and ready to rock. Normally a guy that's in great shape. The Mongolian Savage is ready to take another victim home. And unfortunately for Clayton, I think he's in trouble. I know he's a good Brazilian prospect, but I think we get overswayed on some of these young Brazilians. Now, for Clayton Rodrigues, I looked at him and I said, man, I've seen this guy before. You guys remember in Bruno, Sacha Baron Cohen's film, the ex-boyfriend he had? Tell me this is not his fucking doppelganger. Listen, I don't think that Bruno's ex is going to pull through against a savage like the Mongolian killer in Alatengheili. Let's look at them facing off, though. And maybe something goes crazy. Maybe something changes. Let's look. There's the face-off. Intensity's high. It looks like Clayton is like elbowing the throat of Elatong, but the actual face-off wasn't as intense as that. Elatong kind of put his neck on the throat. When I first just saw the image, I was thinking to myself, wow, do we have an almost brawl breakout? But no, didn't. I think Alatengheili can pull through. I think Clayton's going to come out real hard early, could potentially fade. I think he looks dangerous in the first, but second and third he slows, and Alatengheili should shine later in the fight. Now let's look at the odds for the fight, because Elatong's a dog. Plus 138. Give me the dog side. The dog all day. And the dog's barking. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I hear a dog barking as I call the underdog. This is the dog of the week right here. Plus 138, Elatong. Minus 200 for the over rounds, but give me the plus money. Elatong by decision, plus 250. Just money line it. The best call for me here will be a straight down the center underdog money line on Alatengheili to win. That's it. Let's keep running. Our next fight on the card, we have Pinheiro Rodrigues versus Adrian Carnelossi. I'm picking Pinheiro Rodrigues simply because she's better. Not because of the physical side of it. Because if you look at the scales, if you look at the frames, Adrian Carnelossi looks like a damn men's 155-pounder. It looks like she's related to Mateusz Rambeszki with the muscles that she's got. But in the actual technicality of the fighting, Pinheiro's simply a bit better and also not as long of a layoff. We got a year off for her. We got 2 years off for Carnelossi. Granted, 2 years ago, she lost to Lupi Godinez. That's a great loss looking at the modern landscape of the UFC. Still, I feel as though Pinheiro Rodrigues slightly technically better, can edge a decision out, but betting-wise, hell no. Not for me on the side of Pinheiro Rodrigues. I've picked against Pinheiro a good amount in the past. I guess not a good amount. She doesn't have that many fights, but I've picked against her. I do think she's going to be able to win here. Actually, I got to shrink myself a bit. And then let's find our girl. Where's she at? Carnelossi. Carnelossi. You're going to see. Look at the fucking gains on her, though. Look at the physique. The muscularity is out of this world on her. She's definitely a rare breed as far as the physical side goes. I mean, jacked as they get. Look at the biceps on her. They're fucking pythons. I'm telling you. Looks like she's got the biggest arms south of Westland, Oregon. Holy shit. Now, let's look at the face-off between these two. It's not bodybuilding, so we're not going to fucking go too crazy here because the arm size of Carnelossi. But you can even see when they go side to side, Carnelossi is jacked beyond belief. Bro, if you covered her face, if you just take her head out of the equation and, you know, you don't have this fucking feminine shirt on, that's a dude's arm. So take what you want from that. Maybe you like her as a dog because of how jacked and strong she is. I just question the technical skill set at the moment. But the physical presence is very real, and she is a legit threat for Pinheiro. And when you're looking at minus 220 for Pinheiro, to me, it's a stay off. I'm not on the favorite as far as betting-wise, not into it. Plus 185, Carnelossi. She's jacked. She's going to fight hard. We probably go long. Over 2.5 is minus 250. I like that more than anything else here. And then Rodrigues' decision is plus 125. Carnelossi decision plus 300. I think Carnelossi's a live underdog, for real. But I'm going to go with Pinheiro Rodrigues to win the fight. On the scorecards, should this be a little bit better, technically speaking, and outpoint Carnelossi in a competitive fight. So, Pinheiro Rodrigues to win, but not look to be a wide favorite. It's going to look more competitive. Let's keep running up. Our next fight on the card, we have Abus Magomedov versus Warlley Alves. Abus Magomedov, I went with the Chalky Locky this week and locked him up. I think Abus is going to win the fight. I see the striking of Abus coming through nicely here, but actually the wrestling could work for him as well. I just don't think Warlley Alves is going to do that great at 185 pounds. I know he's not old at 33, but he has taken, you know, a fair amount of L's in a row. Granted, you can say, oh, but Abus has lost a lot in a row. True, but Caio Borralho and Sean Strickland. Now, an Ikram Aliyaskarov loss is not awful for Warlley Alves, and a split with Dalby down a weight is not awful, but Jeremiah Wells did sleep him. I guess that's not awful. Randy Brown is years back now. The Munir Lazez body kick win. I think Abus Magomedov should be good to go in this fight. I think he could end up stopping Warlley Alves. I'm kind of thinking Abus by knockout. So we're going Abus KO win. I think it's live in the second round. I've talked about like degenerate round propping with this fight. I'm feeling the second round KO for Abus Magomedov here. Now we'll look at Warlley Alves, who actually looks in good shape. I mean, thickness-wise, not necessarily in the midsection, a little loose, but filling into a 185-pound frame, you'd expect a guy like him to have a little bit of that excess body fat. And then Magomedov on the other front, though, he looked absolutely shredded and jacked. he comes in great shape every damn time, and I expected no less for him here in this matchup. So good shit on the side of Avis Magomedov. I mean, the gas tank's the big question mark people have, but now Warlley Alves going to be the guy to beat him? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think Warlley can do it. Avis Magomedov, Warlley, face-to-face. Magomedov striking should be promising in this fight. A knockout is high likelihood, and Avis Magomedov winning, to me, is a lock. Minus 255, Abus to Warlley at plus 215. Give me Abus. Give me under. I do think 2.5, minus 185 probably hits. And then looking at it, KO win for Magomedov, plus 105. But if you go Magomedov second round knockout, you get plus 600. I am calling a second-round KO as the official Mystic Max style prediction in this fight with the lock underdog, the chalky locky and Avis Magomedov. But looking for a plus money line, there's a knockout prop, there's a round prop, but Avis Magomedov straight down the center is the real lock here, and he's going to take out Warlley Alves for sure. All right, next fight on the card. The ladies go after it here. We have Tamires Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. I'm picking Melissa Gatto to win. I don't think Tamires Vidal has the takedown defense nor the technical jiu-jitsu to deal with Melissa Gatto. Now, I recognize some concerns with Melissa Gatto coming in is this is a short notice spot. But some positives is I think she's going to look better at 35 than she did at 25. So we might as well bring the scales right up here and see if that opinion ends up being an accurate one. Let's find our girl. Where's she at? Where's she at? There's Tamires Vidal right there on the scale. Tamires Vidal, she looks okay. She got the face tats. It's a cool look. She doesn't look incredible here, but in shape for sure. There's not like too many knocks that I can really give on Tamires Vidal this time because I think she does look at least physical, better than last time. And again, we're in no man's land. They didn't post up a pic of our girl. I swear it was here earlier. Guess not. But doesn't really matter because what you're going to see is the face off, and you can really analyze the frame nicely of what we're dealing with here on the side of Gatto, right? You're going to look at it. She's still very lean, but she's at 135 pounds as opposed to 125. I think there's more muscle on the shoulders and arms. She's a little thicker. I think this can come in handy big time in the grappling. I will say, Tamires Vidal looks like she lost body fat. She looks in better shape. Look at the jawline. I think Gatto can win still. I'm going to pick her, but chalky-ass line. I think Gatto's got way better jits, and she should be able to pull it off here against Tamires Vidal. But if Vidal is coming in better shape, which I do believe she is, that's at the very least more of a fight compared to the odds have it. Minus 345 for Gatto to plus 270 Vidal. It's a terrible betting line. So I see why people go underdog or pass on this ladies fight. But I do think Gatto by sub is live. I think she's got the big jiu-jitsu advantage. Plus 200 for that Gatto win by submission. Money line minus 345. She should win, but 345, short notice. I don't think Tamires Vidal is that great. I think she's got good leg kicks, decent enough hands, but kind of a brawling striking style. So I'm going to pick Gatto pretty comfortably. But there are concerns with the short notice. And obviously, if Vidal really is dialed in her training camp, we might see a new look Vidal looking at the physical side of things. So Gatto to win nonetheless is the official pick, and I'll call sub. Next fight on the card, we have Oumar Sy versus Tokkos. This fight is an extremely short notice addition. Oumar Sy was supposed to be fighting Tricolio. Tricolio pulled out. Now he takes on Tokkos, and I'll be real with you guys. Tokkos, formerly George Tucos, was supposed to win the road to the UFC, but ran into Mi Yang Zhang, who was an absolute powerhouse puncher and ended up getting laid clean. I sat here on this pick and I said to myself, give me Tokkos. Okay, George Tokkos. Excuse me, I call him Tukos. I don't know. Tokkos sounds better than Tokkos. So we'll call him Tukos. I think that Georgie boy, Tokkos, can end up pulling this off in an upset. And I know you're going to say you're fucking delirious, okay? And the reason I'm taking a chance on him is because he's taking a chance taking this fight on short notice. And I went back and I watched Oumar Sy go distance some fights ago. It was a W against this man, Paul Begay. I actually really like Paul Begay's striking, but he didn't finish him. He took him down. He controlled him a bit, but he wasn't able to do any damage from top position. And Tuco, has pretty quality takedowns, and I would say decent enough stand-up. Now, I know Oumar Sy is physically imposing. He's running guys over, but I also question him being 6'5", because his opponent looked 2-3 inches taller, and he was listed at 6'5", Paul Mbege, and I thought that he was probably 6'7" if the height was accurate, but no, he's listed at 6'5" as well. Alcantara win is fine. Henrique da Silva win is fine, but let's be honest here. It's 2 UFC washouts, and I was confident on Oumar Sy against Tricolio because Tricolio's been out-wrestled. Tuco Tokkos was laid out badly against Miyang Zhang, but he did land a takedown. And Oumar Sy is a wrestling pressure fighter. I'm going to go with Tokkos, and I think I'm going to risk it for Tokkos' side, which, you know what, we'll see if it comes to bite me in the ass. Maybe Oumar Sy really is that good of a prospect. Maybe he's got the goods. He's definitely strong physically. But what I'm thinking is what happens if Tokkos' takedown defense is there, Oumar Sy looks like a sloppy striker, he gasses after 2 rounds, and Tokkos is landing takedowns and wins in an upset. I feel like that is a live possibility, and I'm going to go out here and pick Tokkos to pull it off. And maybe Oumar Sy shuts my mouth, or maybe Tokkos lives up to the potential that was originally set out for him and thought to be with the road to the UFC fight against Zhang absolutely going against him, and he was devastatingly KO'd. But Zhang's striking is where he shines the most. Sy's ground and pound and physical strength is where he shines. And I think Tokkos is a good wrestler, man. Styles make the fights. I'm going to go out on a whim and go with Tokkos to pull off the upset, which is maybe nuts, but he looked very confident too. And body language is something I do like to take into consideration, especially with a short notice fighter. Came in with the shades, he put the fingers up. Like, he looked real confident, man. I don't know. I just feel like Tokkos doesn't give the appearance of being any bit intimidated. And he's always had kind of an arrogant flow to him, even when he, was initially fighting Miyang Zhang. Now, we'll find Oumar Sy, who looked good on the scale. He looked ripped. He looked jacked. But I question his skills. I know he's physically imposing and freakishly athletic, but I question his skills. Seriously, I question his skills. Let's look here. There is the face-off between the two. I mean, yeah, Oumar Sy is more jacked. Oumar Sy is more shredded. But Tokkos is not here for the physique. He does have decent wrestling. Both guys are okay in the stand-up. Tokkos definitely gets stiff a bit. We're going to find out a ton. Give me Tokkos to upset Oumar Sy at plus 400. I know he's coming out on short notice, but the line being like this is just odd to me. Minus 550 for Sy, I can't. I think Tokkos has a chance. And a bit of a chance is enough for me. Over 1.5 is plus 124. I don't think Oumar Sy is going to run him over in a round. Tokkos is a vet of Bellator, too. And he's only been finishing the first round that one time against Zhang. It's not like he's getting chin left and right. He's on a win streak. Tokkos' money line is the A side. Tokkos to win. What is a Tokkos ground and pound? 700 KO. Submission plus 14. He's only got 2 subs, and 1 is in the 4th round. So, Tokkos inside distance plus 500. Listen, just money line Tokkos plus 400 if you're looking to degen it up or go over 1.5 with Tokkos. I don't know. However you feel like doing it. I just got a chance side of Tokkos, and I also really got to say he's a Kill Cliff FC fighter, and they produce good talents. And I know Sy has this great reach, 84 inches almost. He's 6'5", but he's raw talent in the stand-up, and he's taking on a guy that can wrestle pretty well. I was confident in Sy over Tricolio because I saw Sy taking him down and beating the hell out of him. I can't really see that same side happening easily. Tokkos on short notice. I think he's going to be ready to rock. He fought 2.5 months ago. Myron Dennis got injured quick in that fight, but Tokkos was on him with the wrestling and broke his arm. It's not like he got injured throwing a punch. He got slammed, and his arm absolutely snapped. So give me Tokkos to pull it off against Oumar Sy as an underdog. That's the side I'm riding with. Let's go. Savage mode. Next fight on the card. This fight is going to bring us to our featured prelim. We have Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. I think Tom Nolan should absolutely devastate Victor Martinez. I don't think this should be any bit of a competitive fight. I think Tom Nolan should probably knock him out in the first round. He has a significant striking edge. He's a lot taller, a bit longer, southpaw stance, power. Nice knockout on contender of Bogdan Grad. And I still think that guy, being Tom Nolan, has got some potential. Even though he lost to Moda, Nicholas Moda's a dangerous fighter with big knockout touch, where I don't feel that about Martinez. We got Nolan on the scale right here. Looks in good shape and ready to rock. Where's our boy Martinez? Let's see. They've been leaving some people out. So we've missed a couple. I needed to make notes. I swear I counted 27. Instead, we got some guys missing. It's all good, though. They give no respect to our guy. But you know what? You don't really need the actual scale image to see what you're dealing with here with Victor Martinez. I'm just going to bring up the face-off, and you're going to see what I'm seeing. Martinez currently, to me, looks like a retired fighter. You see softness in the back area, in the midsection. I think that Martinez, if he's completely dialed in and dieting on point, he is not a UFC lightweight. He is a UFC featherweight. He doesn't impress me anywhere, and I'm picking against him, and I think he's getting knocked out in the first round. Jordan Levitt dusted him in a round. I think that Tom Nolan is also very live to dust him in a round. It's Tom Nolan all day long. Now, as far as the odds, Nolan is minus 450, as he should be against Victor Martinez. And then Nolan to win via KO sits at minus 175. Yes, that line sucks, but he is live for the knockout for sure. Nolan wins by KO in round number 1. That sits at only plus 130. It is a little plus. Nolan, unfortunately, becomes a wide parlay piece. I know people will say, fuck Nolan. He got knocked out by Mota. How can you pick him? But it's Nicholas Mota knockout loss or a Jordan Levitt knockout loss. Like, let's compare the realities here. Jordan Levitt's a grappler. Nicholas Mota's knocking out a lot of dudes just willing to bang with him. So I'm going Tom Nolan KO to close out the prelims, and I think he should look pretty smooth and easy. It's one-way traffic. He's going to destroy Victor Martinez. Let's keep running up. Let's get to our next fight, which is our main card opener. If you guys have not yet, make sure you all smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe it up. We have the ladies starting off the main card. Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. I've been picking Angela Hill to pull this through all week. I think she can wear on Pinheiro late with combination shots, a lot of movement, and not getting tied up for too long. Pinheiro, I think her best strat is trying to throw Angela Hill, like using the cage and using the judo base. But I believe Angela Hill's takedown defense will shine in this fight. I think her combination striking will shine a lot here and an evident speed advantage. I'm hearing that this is Angela Hill's last fight. So if it is, I'm hoping she comes through on a win against Pinheiro, who's a decent prospect, but I've just never been sold on. So I am picking Angela Hill to pull through and get this one. Now, as far as the scales, though, let's see. Let's see what we're looking at. Where's our girl Angela Hill? Okay? She looks in great shape and looks ready to go. Angela Hill looks like she got a couple extra fights in her. She don't need this to be the last one. I don't think it's time to call it just yet for Angela Hill. Pinheiro here. That's a man, baby. No, I'm not trying to diss her too bad. I'm not roasting heavy today. I'm in a great mood. I'm not roasting heavy. I think that Pinheiro is going to lose, though, to Angela Hill. That's it. Let's see the face-off, though. I do think Angela Hill's speed advantage will be evident. Movement will be on point. Takedown defense is there. I think she gets it on the cards. There's a face-off. Angela Hill looks great. If it's her last fight, she still looks young. I'm going with Angela Hill to win. I'm picking her. I think she can outstrike Pinheiro and avoid the grappling. Now, as far as the odds, Pinheiro is a slight dog. She's a people's underdog this week. I like Angela Hill, the favorite, at minus 144. And then looking at Angela Hill to win by decision, it's plus 100. I do think she is live to win this fight by a unanimous decision or even a split decision. So over minus 450. Also live, Angela Hill to pull through. I think she's winning the fight over Luana Pinheiro. And I feel pretty good about her pulling it off. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador. Adrian Yanez should absolutely destroy Vinicius Salvador, and if that doesn't happen, then you know what? I think Yanez, we're throwing him out. It's not going to go that way, okay? Yanez is going to chin him. I don't see Vinicius Salvador as the guy to beat Yanez. He flurries wide hooks that leave him open to counters. Yanez can still knock some people clean. He's still got some smooth boxing. And Salvador, though, impressive on his Contender Series win with Shannon Ross. It's Shannon Ross, dog. And it's at 125. Adrian Yanez has fought ranked contenders. Martinez last time, and he lost to Aldo after. So what? And then what? Fight before Rob Font? It's Rob Font. Yanez can beat Vinicius Salvador. Salvador doesn't throw enough straight punches where I feel like overly worried. Now, let's check him out on the scales. Let's find our guy. Where's Adrian Yanez at? We'll bring him up first. I guess we'll bring up whoever comes up first, to be honest. But Let's see. Hopefully it's Yanez. We got Yanez right down here. There he is. I mean, he looks in good shape. Looks ready to go. He's always a little bit on like the skinnier fat side. It's like that Masvidal fit where it's like even when he has abs, he still looks like kind of unimpressive and soft. But that doesn't matter. He's got power in his hands. He's got good boxing skills. And he's beating the yeller, bro. Vinicius the Screamer, Salvador, every time he's yelling on the damn scales. I'm going with Yanez all day. Yanez, as he likes to be called. I apologize for mishapping it, my guy. But you know what? It's hard to think of Yanez when it's spelled Yanez for us English-speaking folks. Now, there is the face-off. I think Yanez is going to dust Salvador. If he doesn't, this is a terrible loss for him. Like, this is one of those losses where it can send you out of the UFC, and it's going to take him years to come back. Salvador is 0-2 in the UFC. He's got no hype. Yanez is on a 2-fight losing streak, but he's still got some hype. And I think he's actually got some game to back it up. And I think he's going to chin Salvador here. Minus 415 for Yanez, plus 345 Salvador. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Looking at it, Yanez to win by KO, minus 155, probably happens as well. I like Yanez to pull through. Yes, he's a disgustingly wide favorite, but this fight should play out as I'm seeing it. Yanez's hands are way crisper. His power is just more, and he is the more natural 35er, even though, you know, Salvador's a bit taller. He was cutting down to 25, missed weight his last fight at 25, came in at 28.5, and here he's going up to 35, which needed to happen, but he's definitely being used as an opponent here for Yanez, so I think Yanez is going to pull through and win this fight. We're going with Yanez to beat the setup. The opponent, bro. Salvador's the opponent here. Let's jump to our featured bout of the night. We have Ramiz, Brahimaj, and Themba Gorimbo. I've been picking Ramiz Brahimaj as an underdog to win all week. Now, hearing Gorimbo's story at the media day was pretty tear-jerking and upsetting. His coach's mother passed away day of the fight, or day before, 2 days before the fight, right? Coming up on it. So he's fighting with a heavy heart and a lot on his mind. So it kind of made me think, damn, him fighting for a lot, does that give him an edge? Well, you think that until you're going to see Ramiz Brahimaj. Now, I'm sorry to Gorimbo's coach. That's tragic. Sorry to Gorimbo, but this is the fight game, and I can't be too sympathetic. Well, first look at Gorimbo. He looks good, per usual. He looks like Themba Gorimbo does. Fit, in shape, lean, ready to rock. Similar build to, you know, the per usual build. The style that we always see from him. But we got more. We got more, okay? We got more. Is that Ramiz Brahimaj or is that Arman Sarukian? Because, bro, I can't tell. Holy shit. Ramiz Brahimaj takes some time out of the game, 2 years off, comes back looking absolutely chatted up with the fucking beard, the sick haircut, the gains. Brahimaj looks legit as fuck. Brahimaj all day, guys. I'm telling you right now, Brahimaj has never looked like this before. This is a shift in him as a man. This is a shift in him as a fighter, and I swear he's going to end up living to some potential with this one. Submission win, Ramiz Brahimaj. I think he's going to come out looking better than we've ever seen him before. This is the most physically imposing he's ever looked, and I think that that's a factor. Because he recognizes this is the biggest opportunity of his life. To come in, take on Gorimbo, who's got a bit of hype, after a layoff, after some fights. I think Brahimaj is going to pull through. He's not in his 20s anymore. He's a grown man now. Plus 127, plus 130, Brahimaj. Give me the dog. Gorimbo, minus 145. Underdog, Brahimaj. Submission win for Brahimaj, plus 170. I'm picking it. We're going Brahimaj, underdog. The confidence has risen post-weigh-ins. And if you watch this week's Best of MMA Bets Wednesday, I said, guys, I'm picking them, but I'm worried about it. I got to see the weigh-ins. Holy shit. Did that deliver for me? I know Brahimaj is taking this shit seriously, and he's not coming in here to lose this fight. He's not just taking it for a paycheck. It looks like he put his life on the line with this training camp, and I'm going to say that good things come to him, and that's not the same Brahimaj. Who the hell is that? Who the hell is that? If you told me it's the same fighter, I wouldn't believe you unless I knew. Are you kidding me? It's a different level, bro. It's like chatted up Brahimaj. Savage Brahimaj, looking like Arman Sarukian. Give me Brahimaj. He's going to pull through. I believe it. Did we look at the face-off, or did I leave the face-off out? Because now I'm thinking, shit, I might have left it out. I got too hyping up Brahimaj. I didn't bring up the face-off. But we're going to look at it right before we move out. We do have to say one thing. You got a little bit of a height towards Gorimbo, but, man, I think Brahimaj is going to beat him. I got Brahimaj. He subs him up. He catches a neck. Brahimaj for the W in the featured bout. Let's keep running. Our co-main event of the evening, Khaos Williams, Carlston Harris. I've been picking Khaos Williams with some confidence throughout the week. I do think he can catch Carlston Harris striking, but there are times where I think Khaos has looked bad. Yes, his last two sucked. And he can be gun-shy at times, but when he lets the hands fly, he has devastating knockout power, and I think he has a real opportunity to beat Carlston Harris in the stand-up game. Harris would shine if they tie up and go to the ground. I'm still going to stick with Khaos Williams to pull through, but we are going to look at the scales, and I am going to give credit where it's due because Carlston Harris looked in very good shape. Carlston Harris looks ready to go. Shredded, looking more youthful than he normally does. He's got some dog left, and he threw the people's elbow out there. And then on the other front, we're going to bring up our guy, if we can find them here. Where's our boy at? Are they just leaving out some of our fighters just to screw with me? Like, they don't put Khaos Williams in our lineup? It is what it is. Because you know what? I got the face off. I'm going to have to run through this again. I count every time, and then they leave him out. But you know what? No respect for Khaos gives me more respect for him. Because they're not respecting him with the pick. No problem. You don't need one. He don't need one because he's coming here to win anyways, and he's going to take him out. Khaos is in good shape, typical good shape. Intense face-off there. I will say Carlston Harris looks pretty badass. I think Khaos can catch that chin. We got Khaos with the chin strap. Is that a benefit for him? Maybe. Is that a downside for him? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think Khaos's hands come in handy. The pun was not anticipated, but I do think he can drop some hammers on Carlston on the feet. If Khaos lands one big shot, he can lay him clean, but trust me, Carlston wants to take him down. So Khaos is going to have to mind his P's and Q's and defend those takedowns. Odds, -132 for Khaos, +112 for Carlston Harris. Khaos by KO is +125, opposite a Carlston Harris submission at +400. I'm going to say Khaos Williams does find the dome. I do think we probably go under at -175. Carlston Harris is going to look to wrestle. And if Khaos can't stop the takedowns early, I will say some panic will set in for me. And I'll have a bit of worry, heading into the later rounds of this fight. But I think Khaos Williams is live to knock him out. Harrison does have sloppier stand-up. And Khaos still just needs one shot. And I guess I'm not going to lose faith in a 30-year-old Khaos Williams because of two fights that weren't great. I mean, 2 years ago, the Randy Brown fight, it was a split decision. A year ago, the Bedoya fight, it was a bad split decision that he won, but he almost lost that fight. If he can bring it back to form like he did against Barboza, I really think he can chin Carlston Harris. So I'm going to say Khaos Williams comes back with a vengeance, and we have some reminiscence of what we used to see with Khaos. Looking at his worst performances, I see why people like Harris, but looking at his best, he can win this fight. So give me Khaos Williams for the knockout. All right. Main event of the evening. If you guys have not yet, make sure you all smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. We have Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. I've been picking Edson Barboza to win throughout the week. I do believe he could be live for a kick knockout or a knee knockout here with Lerone, who I expect to be shooting takedowns. But Lerone very fit. We might be going the full 5. And I think Edson Barboza in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th could end up doing fairly well striking from range with Lerone. A big factor is going to be he's got to keep Lerone Murphy off of him for a lot of time because Lerone's going to be shooting takedowns like a madman. Lerone Murphy in the stand-up knows he's at a disadvantage, specifically with the kicks. He's at a little bit of a height and reach disadvantage, but the leg length disadvantage is going to be evident here. Edson Barboza has looked good in his past couple, specifically last time out, overwhelmed by Sadiq Yusuf early, then came back to win that fight and even rock him there. And I think this fight could be similar to that one. And I've also never been sold on Lerone. Like, if you're selling me a Lerone Murphy stock, I ain't buying it. Okay? He's 13-0, but the win here, Kulabale, is okay. He probably could have lost that Santos fight. Amir Khani, nice knockout. Silva de Andrade, clean win. Hamosh knockout was good. I'm a Hamosh fan, so maybe I'm bitter about that. I think Edson Barboza can beat Lerone Murphy by knockout or decision, but it's definitely going to be a hard fight, and we're going to find out if Edson's got that heat left. I haven't been impressed with Lerone Murphy throughout his career. He's 13-0-1. I recognize that. But now is going to be the test of all tests. If he can come through and beat Edson Barboza, this is a massive win, and then I'm going to start putting some respect on his name, but he hasn't beaten anybody legit yet. And I think Edson Barboza has proven himself time and time again, and I'm going to have him beating Lerone Murphy here. Now, as far as the scales, let's look at these savages. We got Edson Barboza shredded, jacked, ready to go. Doesn't matter he's 38. He still looks as primed as he's ever looked. And then we'll bring up our guy Lerone Murphy and see what he's looking like. Lerone Murphy shredded as well. Absolutely ready to fight. Both guys are going to bring heat. I know for a fact we got war ensuing. We got multiple images from the face-off, so I might as well just zoom into these ones here. We got this right here, similar height, similar statures, just more lean for Edson Barboza, who looks freakishly shredded, kind of like the alien shreds. Look at the fucking obliques, man. You could slice some fucking fruits on that shit. Then you got the face-off again right there. Edson, the alien Barboza, the aging wonder, comes back looking better. 38, Edson Barboza might have a breakout performance and knock Lerone Murphy out. I like knockout or decision. I think he stops some of the takedowns, not all, but I don't think Lerone can do significant damage from top, and I think Edson can bounce back up to his feet. So give me Edson Barboza for the upset. Plus 130 for Edson Barboza, now plus 140. Lerone Murphy at minus 160. Give me Edson Barboza to win. As far as the knockout prop out of curiosity, plus 235. I just money line it. And then decision win for Edson Barboza is plus 375. We're probably going over a round and a half, minus 460, over 2.5 probably, minus 240. But Edson's danger is throughout the whole fight. I think he could catch Lerone Murphy and flatten him. I do. Lerone Murphy hasn't taken on anybody with the striking skill sets that we see from Edson Barboza. Zero. He's never fought somebody that can stand up and strike like this. This is a massive test for him, and I recognize that Lerone Murphy's the favorite. I recognize that he's undefeated, so there is some hype in him coming into this spot and, you know, looking to jump over Edson Barboza and maybe emerge as a British contender on the come-up, but I'm not sold on that. I don't believe in Lerone Murphy's game. I think Edson Barboza beats him, so let's find out. Edson Barboza for the win in the main event. Those are the UFC Vegas 92 post-weigh-in predictions, but I'm not done yet. We got to talk a little bit about parlays. I have an amazing parlay segment on this week's Best of May Bets where we drop some heat, but I got to do another one here to discuss what I'm thinking following the weigh-ins. Now, I'm not leaving Yanez out. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Regardless of him being a little skinny fat, I think Yanez is going to stay, okay? Now, am I crazy for thinking that it's a good idea to just go these two at minus 140 on the safer side? But you can add more steam to it. If you don't like my lock Magomedov, you go Heli Elatong, you got plus 185. But if you're like, yo, Clayton's too intimidating, I think you guys are all kind of feeling something here. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. But I personally feel like, if we can find it, that the side of Brahimaj is live. I don't know where the hell he is. Where's our boy? Brahimaj, right here. They move him 3 weeks down. This is the shit I deal with. Brahimaj, Yanez, plus 180. Then if you went through and you added in another underdog, you're a savage. You go Elatong, plus 541. You go Abus Magomedov, like an absolute freak. You go over 2.5 Pinheiro, plus 983. That's a savage call. Where's my boy Tom Nolan at? Is Nolan down low or is Nolan up here? There's Tom Nolan. Plus 1214 for that. Now, if you're like, yo, leave me out of all this dog savagery, plus 476, you're losing heat by the second, and you take out Brahimaj, you got even less heat. You got plus 156, Yanez, Magomedov, Nolan, and the over in the ladies fight. But I do think this ends up being like a near sure hitter. And I do also think sometimes, you know, you match in some of these dogs, you can get some savage heat. George, or Tuco, Tokkos now. Imagine we just go all underdog. Tokkos on the lineup too. Plus 1129. I just have to see for the degenerate side of me, not for the, true confidence side. But I like Brahimaj money line a fuckload, and I like Elatong money line. I think Tukos is a value dog. It's a competitive fight. I pick him to win. I'm not bullshitting you with the pick. Even if it was at even lines, I would have picked Tokkos because I think he can out-wrestle him late. There's some good calls, man. I'm leaving Edson out, as you can see, because I do respect the O on Lerone Murphy's side, and I don't know if I want to leave the whole parlay slate on that damn fight. Obviously, the high confidence, Magomedov, Yanez, Nolan, but I'm feeling Brahimaj as a dog a lot. I'm really feeling the side of Elatong as a dog a lot. I do think, like, Ducote wins early, but, bro, parlay in that first fight could end up shitting the bed for you. It probably goes late, though. We go over rounds. What is that? Plus 7,000. You're going high-risk territory. Now you're playing like an asshole. Listen, do it as you feel, though. Be intelligent with your bets this week, guys. I'm telling you right now, no picks have changed. Just confidence has shifted a little bit. The Brahimaj confidence has jumped. The Carlson Harris-Williams confidence kind of fizzled a little bit. The Angela Hill confidence is in the center somewhere. It's just the retirement talks that always worry me. But the rest of the slates, man, I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling ready to rock. I'm feeling like the lock is the lockety-lock. So make sure you guys smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I appreciate you all tuning in to the show. Full card fight companion tomorrow. Expect to see you guys all there. Much love, everybody. Keep it locked in on the channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And if you got nothing to say in the comments, if you just enjoy the content, as always, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.